Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna to all devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so today is chapter 4, Canto 4, chapter 4. Srinityananda Chandram Patita Sharanadam Gauradam Tam Bhajeham Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shirvasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam Devi Saraswatim Vyasam tato jayam mudire Nasta prayasva bhadresu nityam bhagavati sevaya Bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati neshtiki Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 4. Sati quits her body. Maitreya Uvacha. Etavaduktva Virarama Shankaraha. Patnyanganasham hi ubhayatra chintayan Surhididrikshuhu parishankita bhavan Niskramati nirvisati dvidhasasaha.
Wonderful, thank you. It's so nice to hear you again after such a long time. So thank you. Shyama Malini, would you like to read the English?
Yes, Prabhu.
Great.
One second. The sage Maitreya said, Lord Shiva was silent after speaking to Sati. Seeing her between decisions, Sati was very much anxious to see her relatives at her father's house. But at the same time, she was afraid of Lord Shiva's warning. Her mind was unsettled. She moved in and out of the room as a swing moves this way and there and that.
Surhididriksha pratighat durmanaha snehadrudatya srukarati vihivala bhavam bhavani aprati purushamrusha pradhakshati vekshata jata vipatuhu.
You want me to read, Prabhu?
Oh, yeah. You can just carry on. Yes.
Sati felt very sorry at being forbidden to go see her relatives at her father's house, and due to affection for them, tears fell from her eyes. Shaking and very much afflicted, she looked at her uncommon husband, Lord Shiva, as if she were going to blast him her vision. What uncommon husband? I don't understand.
Shiva is very uncommon.
Oh,
he's not like a normal husband.
Tato vinihi swasya sati vihayatam shokena rosena chaduyata hrida pitroragatreena vimuddha dhirgrihan premnatmano yurthamadat satam priyaha.
Thereafter, Sati left her husband, Lord Shiva, who had given her half his body due to affection, Breathing very heavily because of anger and bereavement, she went to the house of her father. This less intelligent act was due to her being a weak woman.
Hmm.
ताम् अन्वकच्छन् द्रुतविक्रमां सतीम् एकां त्रिनेत्रानुचरः सहस्रशः स पार्षदयक्षामणिमन्मदादयः पुरो वृषीन्द्रास्तरसा गतव्यथाः.
When they saw Sati leaving alone very rapidly, thousands of Lord Shiva's disciples, headed by Maniman and Madha, quickly followed her with his bull Nandi in front and accompanied by the yakshas.
तां सारिकाकन्दुकदर्पणाम्बुजा श्वेतातपत्राव्यजनश्रगादिभिः गीताय निर्दुन्दुभिशङ्खवेणुभिर्वृषेन्द्रमारोप्य वितङ्किताययुः.
The disciples of Lord Shiva arranged for Sati to be seated on the back of a bull and gave her the bird which was her pet. They bore a lotus flower, a mirror, and all such paraphernalia was for her enjoyment and covered her with a great canopy, followed by a singing party with drums, conches, and bugles.
Yeah.
The entire procession was as pompous as a royal parade.
Okay. So we take a little break there. Surinder Prabhu, would you like to continue? Let me just find. Okay, there you go.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat everybody, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 4. And the title is Sati quits her body. Sati, so then the verses between 1 to 5, Sati leaves home. Shiva then became silent, understanding that Sati would be destroyed whether she stayed or went. Becoming upset when advised not to go to the sacrifice, Sati became restless. Eventually, she decided to go and was accompanied by a host of Shiva's disciples. They placed her on Nandi, a bull, and went in a royal procession. Yes, so this is Lila, the pastimes of in Srimad Bhagavatam, the pastimes of Lord Krishna and the pastimes of the devotees of Krishna is described. And for our benefit, and the Lila is like a play on a stage. And on a play on a stage for teaching purpose, yeah, in this Lila, Sati makes some mistake. And in the beginning, the previous chapter, Lord Shiva, he made a mistake. So we learn from mistakes. Even the great devotees in a role play, they're showing that if we are not careful in our social responsibility and in our following Vaishnava etiquette and proper Krishna conscious decision and we say Vaishnava Sadachar, then there may be consequences and problems. And some of these problems have been described. The Leela with regards to Lord Shiva and Parvati and Daksha, is about a family life, instructions in family life, the ideal instructions between relationships, various relationships between husband and wife, between a father-in-law and daughter-in-law, and etc. So, however, so initially, like Lord Shiva, he was absorbed in meditation on Paramatma, and therefore he offered obeisances to the Paramatma inside Daksha's heart. And hence there was a misunderstanding. Daksha got offended that his son-in-law did not stand to welcome him. Hence there was, he harbored some feeling of animosity, pride, etc. Daksha was victimized by such negative qualities. And hence there was this conflict between the father-in-law and son-in-law. And this time for the sacrifice which Daksha organized, Lord Shiva and Parvati were not even invited. But Parvati, she, despite invitation, she not being invited, she decided to go. And she disobeyed the instructions given to her by Lord Shiva, her husband. So this is very instructive that if the husband is a Vaishnava, Krishna conscious devotee, the wife's duty is to follow the instructions of the husband. The husband is like a Patidev, like a demigod. And the wife, we say, address the wife as Dharam Patni. Means the wife guides the husband in the path of Dharma, in the path of Krishna consciousness. So it is very instructive, these Leelas. And also we remember the great Vaishnavas of Lord Krishna and Lord Krishna, and we pray for mercy so that we may progress in our Krishna consciousness without any conflict. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Wonderful. Yes, I agree. So let's go back. Okay, there we go. Now it's to text number 10.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Brahma Goshorjitayanyaveshasham Vriprarshijustam Vibudhescha Sarvasha Mriddarvayah Kanchana Darbhacharmabhir Nisrishta Bhandam Yajanam Samavisa.
She then reached her father's house, where the sacrifice was being performed, and entered the area where everyone was singing the Vedic hymns. The great sages, brahmanas, and demigods were all assembled there, and there were my phone is just good. There were many sacrificial animals, as well as pots made of clay, stone, gill,
Gold.
grass, and skin. Gold, sorry, stone, gold, grass, and skin, which were all requisite for the sacrifice.
Very good.
Tamagatam tatra na kanchanadriya Vimanitam yanyakrito bhayajanaha Riteswarirve janamim cha sadara Prema srukanthyaha parisasvajurmuda.
When Sati with her followers reached the arena, because of the people assembled were afraid of Daksh, none of them received her well. No one welcomed her but her mother and sisters, who with tears in their eyes and with glad faces welcome her and talk with her very pleasingly.
सौदर्य संप्रश्न समर्थ वार्तया मात्रा च मात्र स्वश्रुभिश्च सादरम् दत्तां सपर्यां वरमासनं च सा न दत्त पित्रा प्रतिनन्दिता सती.
Although she was received by her sisters and mother, she did not reply to their words of reception. And although she was offered a seat and presents, she did not accept anything. Her father neither talked with her nor welcomed her by asking about her welfare.
शूद्रभागं तम् अवेक्ष्य चार्वरम् च देवे कृतहेलनं विभो अनादृतायं सदस्यधीश्वरी चुकोपलोकानिव दक्ष्यतीरुषा.
Present in the arena of sacrifice, Sati saw that there were no oblations for her husband, Lord Shiva. Next, she realized that not only had her father failed to invite Lord Shiva, but when he saw Lord Shiva's exalted wife, Daksh did not receive her either. Thus, she became greatly angry, so much that she looked at her father as if she were going to burn him with her eyes.
जगर्ह सामर्ष विपन्नया गिरा शिवाद्विषं धूमपथ श्रमस्मयम् स्वतेजसा भूतगणान् समूथितान् निगृह्य देवी जगत्तु वृषिन्वतः.
The followers of Lord Shiva, the ghosts, were ready to injure or kill Daksh, but Sati stopped them by her order. She was very angry and sorrowful, and in that mood she began to condemn the process of sacrificial practice activities and persons who are very proud of such unnecessary and troublesome sacrifices. She especially condemned her father, speaking against him in the presence of all.
Mm.
Hare Krishna. So, Sati offended by Daksha, verses 6 to 10. Her mother and sisters greeted Sati with affection, yet Daksha, her father, and others, out of fear of Daksha, ignored her. Sati also saw that there was no oblations for her husband in the sacrifice. Seeing Lord Shiva neglected, she became very angry. Her followers were ready to kill Daksha, but Sati stopped them. So now this is the presentation of the conflict. Now in this phase of the Bhagavatam, verses 6 to 10, now how Sati, the daughter, got offended by Daksha, the father. So this is about the relationship between daughter and father. So sometimes when the daughters get married and then they visit the father, it's not only in the Bhagavatam episode that this is being shown to happen, some type of conflict, sometimes of exchange of offensive language, etc. But in the from previous historical era to the modern age, such conflicts exist in family life, and the conflict between father-in-law and son-in-law is also very common in society. The quarrel between the daughter and the father is also very common in society. So the Bhagavatam is trying to address such types of conflict. And in this way, Sati felt offended because she felt like her husband, Lord Shiva, was neglected by her father, Daksha. And in this way, she became very angry, and then she was not very happy, and she spoke very angrily with her father. Anyhow, we shall follow further. Hare Krishna, Nitai Gaur Hari.
Thank you.
Devya uvacha nayasya loke sti atishayanah priyas tatha priyo deha pritam priyatmanah tasmin samastatmani mukta vairakhe rite bhavantam katamah pratipai.
The blessed goddess said, Lord Shiva is the most beloved of all living entities. He has no rival. No one is very dear to him, and no one is his enemy. No one but you could be envious of such a universal being who is free from all enmity.
दोषान् परेषां हि गुणेषु साधवो गृह्णन्ति केचिन्न भवादृशो द्विज गुणां च भागून् बहुलीकरे स्नवो महतमास्ते स्वविदद्भवानघम्.
Twice born Daksh, a man like you can simply find fault in the qualities of others, Lord Shiva. However, not only finds no fault with others' qualities, but if someone has a little good quality, he magnifies it greatly. Unfortunately, you have found fault with such a great soul.
नाश्चर्यमेतद्यतसत्सु सर्वदा महद्विनिन्दा कुलपात्मवादिषु शीर्ष्यं महापुरुषपादपं सुभिर्निरस्ततेजः सुतदेव शोभनम्.
It is not wonderful for persons who have accepted the transient material body of the self to engage always in deriding great souls. Such envy on the part of materialistic person is very good because that is the way they fall down. They are illuminated by the dust of the feet of great personalities.
Mhm. They are diminished by the dust of the great person.
Sorry, yeah, diminished.
That's okay.
यद्विअक्षरं नाम गिरेरितं विना सकृत्प्रसङ्गात् घमाशु हन्ति तत् पवित्रकृतिं तमलङ्घ्य शासनं भवानहो द्वेष्टि शिवं शिवेतरः.
Sati continued My dear father, you are committing the greatest offense by envying Lord Shiva, whose very name, consisting of two syllables, Shti and Va, purifies one of all sinful activities. His order is never neglected. Lord Shiva is always pure, and no one but you envies him.
यत्पादपद्मं महतां मनोलिभिर्निषेवितं ब्रह्मरसासवार्थिभिः लोकस्य यद्वर्षति चाशिषोऽर्थिनस्तस्मै भवान् द्रोह्यति विश्वबन्धवे.
You are envious of Lord Shiva, who is the friend of all living entities within the three worlds. For the common man, he fulfills all desires, and because of their engagement in thinking of his lotus feet, he also blesses higher personalities who are seeking after Brahmananda, transcendental bliss.
किं वा शिवाख्यमशिवं नाविदुस्त्वदन्ये ब्रह्मादयस्तम् अवकीर्य जतः श्मशाने तन्माल्यभस्मान्निकपालियवसत्पिशाचिर् ये मूर्धभिर्दधति तच्चरणास्पर्शिस्तम्.
Do you think that greater, more respectable personalities than you, such as Lord Brahma, do not know this inauspicious person who goes under the name of Lord Shiva? He associates with the demons in the crematorium. His locks of hair are scattered all over his body, and he is garlanded with human skulls and smeared with ashes from the crematorium. But in spite of all these inauspicious qualities, great personalities like Brahma honor him by accepting the flowers offered to his lotus feet and placing them with great respect on their heads.
Hey, good.
Hare Krishna, Nitai Gaur Haribo. So, Lord Shiva's glories, verses 11 to 16. Sati angrily reminded her father of Lord Shiva's glories. Despite his appearance living with demons in a crematorium, covered with ashes, garlanded with skulls, Shiva is all auspicious, has no superior or rival in this world. To him no one is dear or inimical, whom is always beloved, is without enmity, finds no faults in others, purifies all one's sins, his fame is pure, a great friend to all, is worshipped even by Brahma. So Lord Shiva is in the scriptures is described as Vaishnavanam Yatha Sambhu. So Lord Shiva is a great devotee of Lord Krishna, Vaishnavanam Yatha Sambhu. So he's a great Vaishnava, and many devotees we can benefit by the blessing and teachings of Lord Shiva and make progress in our spiritual life. So it is said that Daksha was described as fault finding, and whereas Lord Shiva, he doesn't find faults in others. So this concept of finding faults is like putting one's head in the gutter. And when we put one's head in the gutter, our head gets stained with filth, like the feces, etc. So this fault-finding attitude, which is compared to like putting one's head in the gutter, should be stopped. We should not find fault, whereas we should try to find the good qualities in others. And Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he is known as Adoshadarshi, means he does not find any fault in others. And Gauranga Mahaprabhu is also known as Gunagrahi. He sees the good qualities in others. So this is very exemplary. And the fault-finding attitude and criticizing. So all this starts first with some negativity in one's mind, like pride, selfishness, and the bodily concept of materialistic life in the mind. And then it is expressed with disrespectful words and harsh words and quarrels and conflicts. And then in the third degree, it may end up into a fight, like physical. So in this way, we are taught like we have to, in any condition, we have to be equipoised and always remember the teachings of Lord Krishna and Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Lord Shiva in the scriptures. And keep our mind peaceful and try to find peaceful solutions to problems. In the material world, Krishna describes this material is dukhalayam asasvatam. It is full of dukhalayam, means misery, and it is also asasvatam, means it is temporary. So in this short journey of our life, we should make the, it is said to make good use of a bad bargain, means to make the most in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
कर्णौ पिधाय नरयार्यटकल्पईशे धर्मा वितर्य श्रेणिभिर्निर्भिरश्यमाणि चिन्त्यात् प्रसह्य रुषातिम् अशतिं प्रभुसेज जिह्वामशून्नपि ततो विसृजेत् स धर्मः.
Sati continued, if one hears an irresponsible person blaspheme the master and the controller of religion, one should block his ears and go away if unable to punish him. But if one is able to kill, then one should by force cut out the blasphemer's tongue and kill the offender, and that one should give up his own life.
अतस्तवोत्पन्नमिदं कलेवरम् न धारयिष्येऽसि कण्ठगर्हिणीनः जगदस्य मोहाधिविशुद्धिमन्धसो जुगुप्सितस्योद्धरणं प्रचक्षते.
Therefore, I shall no longer hear this unworthy body. Bear this unworthy body, which has been received from you. You have blasphemed Lord Shiva. If anyone has taken food which is poisonous, the best treatment is to vomit.
न वेदवादाननुवर्तते मतिः स्वैव लोके रमतो महामुनिः यथा गतिर्देव मनुष्ययो पृथक् स्वैव धर्मेण परं क्षिपेत् स्थितः.
It is better to execute one's own occupational duty than to criticize others. Elevated transcendentalists may sometimes forego the rules and regulation of the Veda, since they do not need to follow them, just as the demigods travel in space, whereas ordinary men travel on the surface of the earth.
कर्म प्रवृत्तं च निवृत्तमपीर्तं वेदे विविच्यो भयलिङ्गमाश्रितं विरोधितद्योगपदेककर्तरि द्वयं तथा ब्रह्मणि कर्म नर्चति.
In the Vedas, there are directions for two kinds of activities. Activities for those who are attached to material enjoyment, and activities for those who are materially detached. In consideration of these two kinds of activities, there are two kinds of people who have different symptoms. If one wants to see the two kinds of activities in one person, that is contradictory. But both kinds of activities may be neglected by a person who is transcendentally situated.
मा वः पदव्यः पितरश्मदाष्टिता यायं यसालासु न धूमवर्त्मभिः तदन्न तृप्तेरसुभृद्भिरीदिता अव्यक्तलिङ्गावधूतसेविताः.
My dear father, the opulence we possess is impossible for either you or your flatterers to imagine. For persons who engage in fruitive activities by performing great sacrifices or concerned with satisfying their bodily necessities by eating foodstuff offered as a sacrifice, we can exhibit our opulences simply by desiring to do so. This can be achieved only by great personalities who are renounced, self-realized souls.
नैतेन देहेन हरेर्घृतागसो देहोद्भवेन्नालमलं कुजन्मना वृदा ममाभूत् कुजना प्रसङ्गतस्तज्जन्म दिघ्यो महताम् अवध्यक्रीत्.
You are an offender at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. And unfortunately, I have a body produced from yours. I am very much ashamed of our bodily relationship. And I condemn myself because my body is contaminated by the relationship with a person who is an offender at the lotus feet of the greatest personality.
गोत्रं त्वदीयं भगवान् वृषध्वजो दाक्षायणीत्याह यदा सुदुर्मनः व्यपेतधर्मास्मितमासु तदाहं व्युत्सक्षयेतत् कुनपं त्वदङ्गजम्.
Because of our family relationship, when Lord Shiva addresses me as Dakshini, I become morose and my jolliness and my smile at once disappear. I feel very much sorry that my body, which is just like a bag, has been produced by you. I shall therefore give it up.
Mm. Very drastic action.
Mhm.
Oops. Hang on a sec. What's going on here?
Hare Krishna. We can't see the
Ah,
presentation there.
okay. 1 second. Let me. Okay. There you go.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Sati condemns Daksha, verses 17 to 23. Being disgusted and ashamed by her materialistic father offending Lord Shiva, Sati rebuked him, saying he should be severely punished. Sati, being the Lord's external potency, can vanquish many universes, let alone Daksha. But to save her husband from the charge that he killed Daksha through his wife, Sati gave up her own life. Her body was a source of embarrassment as it came from a person who offended Shiva.
Mm.
Yes. So, offense to Vaishnavas. Among the 10 offenses to the holy name, the first one is to commit offense to the pure devotees who have dedicated their lives in preaching Krishna consciousness. So, Vaishnava aparad should be avoided very carefully. And not only we should avoid Vaishnava aparad, but we should be focused in Namaruchi, like we should develop a taste for chanting the holy name of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namaruchi Jivedaya, and we should show mercy upon the other innocent living entities by distributing Krishna consciousness to the others. And then the third one is Vaishnav Seva. It is said, Bhakat Seva Paramasidhi Premalati Karamula, means by serving the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas, it will lead us to develop a Prema Bhakti, make progress towards Prema Bhakti, Krishna Bhakti, Gauranga Bhakti, like that. And then we have many lessons. Sati Mata, she explained, given us many lessons which we can study and practice. Hare Krishna, Nitai Gauranga. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maitreya uvacha ityadhvare daksham manudya shatruhan kshitavudicim nishasada santavad Sispritsvajalam pita dukula samvrita nimilya dridyoga patham samavisa.
Maitreya, the sage, told Vidura, O annihilation of enemies, while thus speaking to her father in the arena of sacrifice, Sati sat down on the ground and faced north. Dressed in saffron garments, she sacrificed herself with water and closed eyes to absorb herself in the process of mystic yoga.
कृत्वा समानावनिलोचितासना सुदानम् उत्थाप्य च नाभिचक्रतः सनेर्हृदि स्थाप्य धियुरसि स्थितम् कण्ठाद् भ्रुवोर्मध्यमनिन्दितानयत्.
First of all, she sat in the required sitting posture, and then she carried the live air upwards and placed it in the position of equilibrium near the navel. Then she raised her live air, mixed with intelligence, to the heart and then gradually towards the pulmonary passage and from there to between her eyebrows.
एवं स्वदेहं महता महीयसा मुहुः समारोपितमङ्कमादरात् जिहासति दक्षरुषा मनस्विनी दधार गात्रे स्वनिलाङ्गि धारणा.
Thus, in order to give up her body, which had been so respectfully and affectionately seated on the lap of Lord Shiva, who is worshipped by great sages and saints, Sati, due to anger towards her father, began to meditate on the fiery air within the body.
ततः स्वभर्तुश्चरणाम्बुजाशवम् जगद्गुरोश्चिन्तयति न चापरम् ददर्श देहो हतकल्मषः सति सद्यः प्रज्ज्वाल समाधिजाङ्गिया.
Self-concentrated, all her meditation on the holy lotus feet of her husband, Lord Shiva, who is the supreme spiritual master of all the world. Thus, she became completely cleansed of all taints of sin and quit her body in a blazing fire by meditation on the fiery elements. Vikas, you're a Chowjala?
That
You're muted. Yeah.
तत्पश्यतां खे भुवि
You're muted again, Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Oh, sorry.
She has been
That's okay. No problem.
sore throat, yeah.
तत्पश्यतां खे भुवि चाद्भुतं महत् हाहेति वादः सुमहान् अजायत हन्ता प्रिया देवतमस्य देवी जहावसून्केन सती प्रकोपिता.
When Sati annihilated her body in anger, there was a tumultuous roar all over the universe. Why had Sati, the wife of the most respectable demigod Lord Shiva, quit her body in such a manner?
अहो अनाज्ञं महदस्य पश्यत प्रजापतिर्यस्य चराचरं प्रजाः जहावशून्यद्विमतात्मजासति मनस्विनी मानमभीक्ष्णम् अर्हति.
It was astonishing that Daksha, who was Prajapati, the maintainer of all living entities, was so disrespectful to his own daughter Sati, who was not only chaste but was also a great soul, that she gave up her body because of his neglect.
सोऽयं दुर्मर्षहृदयो ब्रह्मदृक्षा लोके प्रकीर्तिं महतीम् अवाप्स्यति यदङ्गजां स्वां पुरुषद्विदुद्यतां न प्रत्यसेदन् मृतये पराधतः.
Daksha, who is so hard-hearted that he is unworthy to be a Brahmin, will gain extensive ill fame because of his offenses to his daughter, because of not having prevented her death, and because of his great envy of the Supreme Personality of
God.
Sati quits her body, verses 24 to 30. Sati then sat down facing north and closed her eyes, raising her life air from navel to heart, to throat to eyebrows in trance, and meditated on the fire within. Thinking only of her elevated husband, she quit her body in a blaze of mystic fire. A great roar of astonishment arose throughout the universe at the death of the chaste Sati, due to the neglect and offensive behavior of Daksha. So Daksha committed a great offense, not only to Lord Shiva, but to her own daughter Sati. And it will be shown in the coming Srimad Bhagavatam Katha, that the Daksha will be severely punished. He will get severe karmic reactions. And so basically in Samambonam, Gauranga Mahaprabhu has made emphasis on Trinadapi Sunichana Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. So one should be very humble and to be very tolerant and respectful towards other living entities, and especially the devotees of Krishna, Gauranga. And one should not expect honor or name and fame in return. So one should be established in the mood of Sudha Bhakti. And in the mood of Sudha Bhakti, one becomes an ever-well-wisher for all other living entities. And in Prema Vivarta, it is explained by Jagadananda Pandit that when one family members are devotees of Krishna, one should care for the family members as one would care for oneself, very carefully and respectfully. One should speak sweet words with the other members of families who are devotees of Krishna. And in this way also, when guests comes to our place, one should welcome guests with at least a little bit of water or some tulsi leaves and sweet words if we don't have enough facilities. Anyway, some Vaishnava Sadachar is to be observed and Vaishnava etiquette to be followed. Hare Krishna, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
वदत्येवं जनी सत्या दृष्ट्वा सुत्यागम् अद्भुतम् दक्षं तत्पार्षदा हन्तुम् उदतिस्थन् उदायुधाः.
While people are talking among themselves about the wonderful voluntary death of Sati, the attendants who had come with her, redied themselves.
Readied.
Yeah.
Readied.
Sorry?
Yeah, it's readied. Come with readied themselves to kill. So they were ready to kill.
Okay, with her ready to kill Daksh with their weapons.
Mm.
तेषाम् आपत्ततां वेगम् निशाम्य भगवान् भृगुः यज्ञघ्नेन यजुषा दक्षिणाग्नो जुहावः.
They came forward forcibly, but Bhrigu saw the danger and offering oblations onto the southern side of the sacrificial fire, immediately uttered mantric hymns from the Yajur by which the destroyers of yajnic performances could be killed immediately.
Mm.
अध्वर्युणायुयामानि देवा उत्पेतुरुजषा ऋभवो नाम तपसा सोमं प्राप्तः सहस्रशः.
When Bhrigu offered oblations in the fire, immediately many thousands of demigods named Ruth became
Rebush.
manifest.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Rebush.
All of them were powerful, having achieved strength from Soma, the moon.
Mm.
कैरलातायुधिर् सर्वे प्रमथाः सह गुह्यकाः हन्यमानादिषु भीजुर् उषद्भिर्ब्रह्म तेजसा. Hare Krishna.
Mm.
When the what did you say?
Yeah. Ribu.
Rubu demigods attacked the ghost and the Guyakas with half-burned fuel from the Yajna fire. All these attendants of Sati fled in different directions and disappeared. This was possible simply because of Brahma Tejas Brahmanical power.
Okay, thank you. Oops. One.
So Hare Krishna. So demigods defeats ghosts, verses 31 to 34. Seeing Sati's ghostly attendants ready to kill Daksha, Bhrigu Muni invoked thousands of powerful demigods known as Ribhus and achieved strength from Soma, the moon, who used the wood from the sacrificial fire to chase the ghosts away. This was possible because of Brahma Tejas. So, yes, so just like among the weapons, Brahmastra weapon is like the nuclear weapon, is a very powerful weapon. Similarly, among prayers, the Brahma Samhita prayers, glorification of Krishna, Govindam Adi Purusham Tamahamajan, is very powerful mantras to invoke the grace of Sri Krishna. and very beautiful prayers and meditation which we can practice. And in fact, Brahma Samhita is a gift given to us by Gauranga Mahaprabhu, as it is says in Prema Dham Deva Stotram, Brahma Samhita Krishna Bhakti Shastra Gayakam Krishna Karna Sidhu Nama Krishna Kavya Gayakam Sri Pratap Rudra Raja Sirsa Sevya Mandiram Prema Dham Devam Eva Nomi Gaura Sundaram. Like that. So Brahma Samhita prayers, Govinda Maripurusham Tohamajame, is very, very important. And in this way, we can conclude that in Krishna consciousness, the Namacharya, Srila Haridas Thakur, is described as practicing Krishna consciousness very perfectly by practicing Achar and Prachar very nicely. So Achar means following the rules and regulations and the Vaishnava etiquettes very nicely, Achar, practicing the principles of Krishna consciousness and bhakti activities, hearing, chanting, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Vandanam, Pada, Sevanam, Pujana, Sakhijana, Atma Nivedana, Dasyam, like that, etc. And by Prachar, means by properly distributing Krishna conscious knowledge, preaching. So this is a great example of the Namacharya to follow. Hare Krishna, Nitai Gaur Haribol. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much. Very, very animated chapter with Sati so offended because Lord Shiva was so offended. She did the ultimate, which was to finish her own life. Of course, she came back as Parvati and remarried Lord Shiva. But it's a pretty powerful chapter. So thank you very much, Ananda Leela and Surinder Prabhu, for taking us through it very, very nicely. Appreciate it.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu, and thank you to all the Vaishnavas. Nitai Gaur Haribol. So next week, what are we going to do, Prabhu?
Oh,
Is it-
yes. What day? What day suits you? I'm flexible.
Yeah, Anandalila, she said like as it is very convenient for her to carry on during Mondays.
Monday is fine. Let's do it on Monday then.
Yes.
We can carry on Monday. Is that okay?
7 p.m., yeah?
Is that okay, Shyam, Malini, and also Lina? Thank you.
Yes, that would be great. That would be really, really good.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay.
Okay. And Lina, thank you so much for darshan. Wow. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Very, very nice. Thank you.
Thank you. All Krishna's mercy, Prabhuji.
Yeah, very beautiful. Appreciate that. Okay, so unless there's any questions or comments, we can stop there and continue on Monday. Okay, thank you. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Ananda Leela ki jai. Surinder Prabhu ki jai.
And Abhinandan Prabhu and Jayanti Mata and all Vaishnava Vrind ki jai, Nitai Gaur
Hare
Premanandi.
Krishna.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.